Hey, this is the World Advice Channel. What I want to talk about today is a question a lot of people have, which is the issue of India. When it comes to India, what I want to discuss is why India is having a hard time becoming a superpower, which actually, by every metric and measure, they should have become a superpower at this point. And why they are still struggling to become a superpower, even though they have easily over a billion people, and obviously, as a result, should have a lot of buying power, which should obviously, as a result, help make, of course, a lot of money that could make them become the world's greatest superpower. So that is what I want to discuss for this video today is why they haven't become a superpower yet. So anyway, let's get started. So when it comes to the issue of why India has not become a superpower, now many people when it comes to issues like this will say it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. But the main reason why India has simply not become a superpower is simply down to the fact that India, simply put it, is has this issue known as a caste system issue. Now, when it comes to the caste system issue, this is the main reason why India has never developed into a superpower of a nation. It simply doesn't have enough people who have a good amount of buying power. And that is what I feel causes most of, in some way, shape, or form, most of the issues India has. But mostly when it comes to why they have struggled to become a superpower, it's simply they don't have enough buying power. If you have a huge portion of the population, which I heard Indian Dalit population, which is considered lowest caste, easily equate to 5 to 600 million people, which is a lot of people, then you're gonna not have a lot of buying power because the Dalits are, from what I know, are not treated well. They treat them badly. They put them down. They, in a lot of cases, hit them, beat them, and even attack them when they're demanding better rights and stuff. Not to mention, obviously, as a result of them being in the lowest caste, they're not going to have a lot of buying power, especially if you're a caste that consists of people doing menial jobs that everyone from higher castes look down upon. Then if you're going to have a situation like that, then not anyone's really going to be able to, of course, as a result, who's from that caste have a lot of money in order to be able to buy things. And that is the reason why, as a result, you know, they are having issues becoming a superpower when they clearly should have become one at this point, and if anything, even surpassed China, who of course is their biggest rival. So now, of course, that I explained that, the obvious question that also comes up is what would happen if they got rid of the caste issue. Now, this is where things get interesting. Now, when it comes to the topic of what would happen if they got rid of the caste issue, they would be doing a lot better. First and foremost, they would easily skyrocket in terms of, you know, in terms of the profits their nation generates. I would easily surpass just about any nation that that it would be a rival in quick time, because the truth of the matter is they would have an insane amount of buying power. It doesn't even matter about knowledge and how advanced their nation is in terms of technology, you know, entertainment, whatnot. That doesn't even matter, okay? Because one thing history has shown, particularly with the United States, at least up into at a certain point, I should say, the United States has shown you do not have to be this to have the greatest knowledge and so on and so forth in order for you to be to of course become a superpower, because a lot of America became a superpower because they just simply had a lot of free time at one point, and obviously because they had a lot of free time, they obviously had a lot of buying power, and because they had a lot of buying power, they were able to, of course, as a result, make make a lot of money from that, which of course helped them develop into becoming a superpower that they became. You know, became because there are a lot of people who had a lot of time to buy things and stuff, so that developed. So it's no different for India. India could obviously have the same result as a result of that. It doesn't even matter how advanced their nation is in a lot of ways. So that's the reason why they haven't developed. Not to mention, aside from the fact when it comes to that particular topic of what would happen if they were to get rid of their caste system, it also comes down to the fact that even their greatest rival, China, compared to them, is really dysfunctional. China has a lot of issues due to the fact that their one-child policy, not to mention their communists and so on and so forth. So as a result of a lot of things, they would easily surpass China and become the world's biggest superpower as a result of that, and not only become the world's biggest superpower as a result of that, as a result of all that stuff in probably like easily like a 5 to 10 year decade. Um, if they got rid of their caste system, is they would also be able through all that money be able to start developing and have a say in the world that gives them a lot of power, which has never happened. Simply put it, because of the caste system. So that is the reason why India has not become a world superpower. It's their caste system. So that was my what if scenario. So now, aside from that, just to end this off, when it comes to talking about this particular topic of India, speaking specifically about India, to be quite precise, um, all I want to say to end this off is when it comes to this topic of superpowers and all this stuff, is is just simply put it, I hope this serves as a lesson to people, okay, in general, when it comes to these particular topics, okay? Um, when it comes to nations like India and stuff. When it comes to nations like India, it, or any nation for that matter, if you really want your nation to become developed, you have to have good buying power. Okay, if you have a population that's poor and are not consuming things, then your nation's not going to develop. If they're just focused on basic amenities like food and beverages and just clothing and stuff, they're not going to develop. You need to offer something to make them develop, in all honesty. And that's the reason why India is not developed as a whole. And why they're probably never really gonna ever time anytime soon become a superpower. As a matter of fact, I believe for the rest of the 21st century, America is going to become. Even China's not doing that great in a lot of ways. They're not as advanced as they made themselves out to be. So probably just be America in honesty, um, for the next little while. But anyway, that's the truth of the matter. If you really want your nation to grow, have good buying power. If your nation is not going to have good buying power, then no one's going to want to join. Then no one's going. Then your nation's not going to grow, and that's the reason why India stagnated. Even though I remember in the late 2000s, everyone was hyping. They're going to be the next America. They're going to be next America. There's going to be the next America. There's a chance, at least, they're going to be next America. Now, if anything, now what has happened? They haven't gotten anywhere, and that's what happens when you don't have buying power. So anyway, this is my video. I hope it was interesting and entertaining for you to watch. Anyway, this is all I have to say. Simply put it, if you like this video, videos like this about politics, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And that is it. And simply put it, later.